Yo, what up, YouTube? So this is your boy again, Daniel Diaz. So I want to share a bit of personal story today, guys. And I am a bartender, and I've been bartending for 10 years in Florida. Bartend slash serving, I've seen that all. I work to the fancy places, to the shitty restaurants, shitty bars, and I've been working in nightclubs. I got some amazing stories, and today I want to share a little bit of tips if you're coming up. And 10 years, man, is a lot. You see all this white hair? That's experience, boy. Yeah, so when I moved to America, I need to find a side hustle for me to develop my bank account. You know what I'm saying? So I started because bartending or serving, the beauty of it and what gets people drawn to it is, you can make a good amount of money in a short period of time. And then, depending on the restaurant, the money is outstanding. So you want to keep that job. But, sometimes it happens not just a side gig, it takes over your life. And some people get really developing, some of them develop a passion for the business because you deal with people the whole day. And then if you like that kind of adrenaline, it draws you in. And also, some people would go, that's one side. The other side would be people that develop traumas or heavy mental, states of mind because of the job, a sort of PTSD for it. So I think that's what happens when you stay too long in the business. If you don't know to digest what happens to you, it can make you bitter. If you know how to observe the lessons of working in the business, it's very key on point, and it can develop you as a human being. And that's, I think, what happens to me. The lifestyle of a bartender is the closest thing you get from a rock star without the rock star drugs. You have access to it. Depending on the bar you work at, if it's like a nightclub that a lot of people come in and they spend a lot of money, so it's different from every other job you ever been, because you're dealing with the human desires as the highest level they can get. The human desire of coming into a party and get fucking blasted, bro. And also not having any limits, so you see everything from the inside perspective, and you get to observe people when they're in the wildest state of mind. So the lesson in there, that's why I think also Hollywood actors and all these people, they come from this business because it teaches you about the human ego, people that get crazy with, I don't know, depending on the state of mind they're in. And you get to see it all, you get to observe it all, and you feel it all. Because, dude, honestly, it will end up coming your way of even rough moments, but also there are beautiful moments as well, when you get to see you get to experience a beautiful night, beautiful customers with nice people. The whole night seems prepared by the universe to you. So that's also one of the beauty things about working in restaurants. It seems like your day aligns with the cosmos, man. You go in, and then since your day, you leave your house to go to the job, all the lights on the way are open. You get there, something happens that's supposed to piss you off actually helps you to get to a flow state, and now you're in a different tunnel. I guess you got sucked into a tunnel that you've never been before, and there's a lot of hormones happening. You get to deal with your state. You see yourself when you fail, how you react to it. And one of the beautiful things about working in restaurants that I think everybody should do it literally is you get to see yourself under stress. And I think you figure that out when you work in restaurants. When you work in restaurants, you figure yourself under stress out. So I think everybody should have that, because it makes you very stoic. It makes you know that things are, they pass. So you don't get hooked onto a feeling. That's why I've ever seen a bartender, a server, a manager from a restaurant, they're too long in the business. And this guy is different, man. Nothing hit this guy. I've ever seen those powerful aura, man, from an Anthony Bourdain guy. That's when this guy is a master of himself. That's what I got from restaurants. and bartending. About bartending in Florida, also the difference is wild because Florida is a number one destination. My main city that I work as a bartender was Orlando, and I work on International Drive, boy. So International Drive is the point where people go, they land in Orlando, man, the tourists, and they basically get a hotel in there because I think it's the cheapest option. So it's like hordes and hordes of tourist people walking around, man, just like some of them have money, some of them don't have money, some of them are in a terrible state, and you get to like you get approached by all of these people. So it's an education in itself because now you know how people react when they come from a different culture. You can be like explicit to them, you can be rude to them, you gotta be more polite. You get to see people like, I think I'll tell you this, one of the greatest lessons I ever learned was that people who made it in the game of life, they hand you the game out, you know? Like when you see these people that are larger than life. So one of the greatest experiences I ever had was to serve Brian Caston and Aaron Paul. Those, you know, the stars from Breaking Bad. They're great fucking people, man. Like they made nothing but to make me feel great, you know? They're like, and I also wrote a book, so I gave them the book. We kind of talked. They made me they gave me this conviction that I would get what I wanted in my life, you know? So I noticed like people who hate, people who bring you down, those are the losers, you know? They're not gonna go forward because when you see the people who made it, bro, they're great, man. They're nice. They want you to like, oh yeah, you have this talent, dude. All right, let's come aboard, man. You know, they don't hate on you because I mean, like when you see these people, like you're trying to be a writer and you're trying to be like an artist or something, like you get a lot of hate from like, you think you can be this person, you know? So when you see the people who made it, they be like, yo, yeah, you have that. Damn, man, that's amazing. Keep going. They encourage you, you know? When you see that people are like, oh, you think like that's one of the things that makes you notice like, all right, there's two kinds of people. By experience, you know, they're like, all right, this is not the one person I'm gonna fuck with. And then this is the kind of person I wanted in my life. So you know like how to differentiate people because you deal with all of them. One time, an interesting thing that happened, I was bartending in Orlando, in Windermere. It was a private house, and I got to serve Mark Cuban from, you know, Shark fucking Tank, bitch. And Mr. Cuban, a huge brother, like he's huge, man. It's like 6 feet something, right? Like, goddamn, what a fucking like big motherfucker. I was impressed. And the way he dealt with me was just like smooth, man. Daniel, you're a great guy, man. And he was drinking nothing. He was just drinking like straight up tequila, man. There is a tequila called Casa de Dragones that he was drinking. So what happened that night was everybody would come to me and be like, yo, what is Mark Cuban drinking, man? I'm like, oh, he's drinking this tequila right here. It's like, can I have, I'll drink that too. So everybody was drinking while he was drinking. That was like, oh. And at the end of the night, he came up to me like, hey, Daniel, can I have one more of those, you know, those shots? Because it was just straight up tequila. It was just me pouring the tequila for him. And he was like, I was like, oh man, I have like one bottle and it's over. It's like, come on, man, you didn't save a little bit for me? Because I told him, like, everybody want to know what Mark Cuban is drinking. I told them they wanted. And they're like, look at him right in the eye. I'm like, hell yeah, Mr. Cuban. Then I pick up, there was one extra bottle. There was untouched. Like, this is for you, man. If you want, you can keep drinking all night. But he wasn't much of a drinker, so he just kept sipping like 2 more drinks. But he gave me like $800, man. Like, he took a bunch of hundreds left for me. Like, this is for you. It's back in 2017 when the world was a different world, man. So yeah, great memories, great times. And you hang out with these legends, man. That's what makes it interesting, you know. You get to see from the inside. Because I would never like talk to Mark Cuban if it was just me standing around in a corner being a freak, bro. I don't know. So that's like one of the greatest lessons in bartender. You get to see these people. And also you get to learn like there's people out there, they're good, man. They're inherently good. Because one thing that can make you discouraged is to see like a lot of people are rude and they bring their problems of their house to the restaurant. And when you work in restaurants, kind of you don't need to go around the world to experience culture because the world comes to the restaurant, you know. So you deal with all these people and you can make it like, oh yo, everybody treats me like shit because like it's the way the people are conditioned. I got like to be rude, especially those people who have those philosophy like I'm paying, so I want it the way I want it and shit, and they try to complicate your life and they're like, hey, I just work here. What the fuck? But also one thing that is very interesting noticing, man, like I was having rough days out there, like miserable fucking days, mate. And there were people that would come in. I would not let them know. I don't know. Like I would be polite and professional, and I was getting everything. They knew like I was trying hard, but they would like give me like a sprinkle. Like I don't know if it was God giving them like a sprinkle to sprinkle me and make me like you know, regain the energy and like yo, yeah, I can take on this, bro. Like, cause I have people coming in and just like being the nicest people in my roughest moment, you know, like when I was going through a divorce, I remember these people, like a couple came in and they're just straight up nice, bro, who treated me like with like passion and I don't know, literally kindness, you know, and like leaving a note, like, hey, things are about to get better, just wait, like random shit, you know, sort of an angel coming on your way. So if you ask any server, they have a lot of those stories, man. That's why like it's a great experience and nobody else can have it but you. In restaurants will make you resilient, will make you passionate, will make you like break down everything that you know you needed to succeed. You know, like if you have a project and you get to a double shift, like a lot of times you don't know, like, but you're in a double, right? Like it's a Saturday, like I don't know, the restaurant had like 1,000 people coming in and you serve at least half of these motherfuckers, bro. And it's like you don't have like the energy it seems, but all of a sudden you get light up, something lights you up, so you get those experiences too, and that teaches you like I can take on anything, bro. I can do it. Just put me on it, like just bring it, man. So it makes you very fearless, you know. And I think like what greatest skills you learn when you bartend is like multitasking. Like you talking to people, you making a drink, you're making 2 drinks, you fucking doing 5 like I don't know shots, and you like, you know, asking, describing a price to somebody, which is crazy. It's totally counterintuitive, those things. You're not supposed to do these things. Your brain is not like supposed to be focused on doing one thing, but the job makes you so aware that you can do more, that you do it. You know, also, like you can make great tips when you recognize those people who have money, you know how to read them, and you're just like, hey, yo, you wanted some extra sauce here? How about another bottle of wine, sir? And shit like that. And then they leave you like, I don't know, that $300 tip, $500 tip, that is unbelievable because those things are still in vogue, they're still happening, man. So yeah, like the hustle, the conflict resolution, the intelligence, all these things are coming when you get to that point where you're about to break and you don't, boy. Makes you resilient. So would I do it again? Fuck yeah, man, because that's the experience that describes me. So when I was really working, I got so passionate about it. I was like, dude, there has to be a book about this, man. Like, and then there's no book because I like to read, and I was like, let me see, because it's a great environment, right? It's the most tribal thing. As every restaurant is a kind of a little tribe, I consider. Like they're like living together as a family. Because if you work in restaurants, man, sometimes you see the people of the restaurant more than you see your own family, man. Because it's like those 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts that you together on that high level intensity, where all the time you're talking to people, like giving them checks, you're cashing them out, there are other people coming in, and it's 8 hours, bro. So it keeps adding it. So it's pretty insane. And that made me like write a book. So I have like a book published. It's called Who Would Have Thought? A Server with PTSD Story. It's out on Amazon. If you guys interested in, if you work in restaurants, you can read this book. This book will get you definitely on the path. There's like the whole, backstabbing thing that happens in this business layout in here. Like the guy is a server. He's developing PTSD from working in restaurants, but he doesn't know. He just thinks he's going crazy. You know what I mean? And then he gets introduced to cannabis by his co-workers, started smoking the plant, started becoming aware himself. It changes his life. So now I'm kind of done with the business because like legit, I don't want to be involved like forever in restaurants. It takes you a lot of time. It takes you a lot of passion. Once the passion is gone, there's no way it can come back, boy. So what I say is like, if you want to have that experience, go full mode. Just know like it's not your life, because some people make it their life. And unless you very like heads down to become an owner or something. But for me, I'm becoming a stand-up comedian. I am like almost selling 1,000 copies on this book, so I got a lot from bartending, serving, and legit thing that is an experience that everybody should have, man. It will change your life, it will change your mind, it will make you a better person. And it's literally like there's a concept created by Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, that he describes a thing called shadow work, where you work on aspects of yourself that you deny. So restaurants literally is the best shadow work you can ever do. All right. Hope to guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll answer them down below. If you want to share some story that happened to you, do you have any crazy tip stories? Do you have any rude customers wanted to fight you, man? Challenge you to a fist fight? I had those. Remember this one guy, he came in, ordered shots for like everybody. His tab was already like 200 something. And then he ditches the place, man. I go look for him, get fucking desperate because I think I'm gonna pay for his check. Like, it's a thing. Like, if they walk out on you, you may have to pay for that shit, Which is now illegal, by the way, if you work, But I went running, my heart was racing, because if you work in a bar, you're sharing tips, and if you lose a tip like that of a $300 check, it might affect the whole, team. But then when I got back, to my surprise, he left his phone and wallet on the counter. So karma will hit everybody, and we definitely hit that guy back. So you guys, I hope to see you back here. We can, I'm gonna keep doing these random videos, like, talking about my experience. You can check my stand-up. I have Instagram, Daniel Stand-Up Diaz, and my book is out on Amazon. I have another book coming up. We're gonna keep this channel alive, bro. See you guys soon. Bye.